This is Sky Sports.
FA Cup goes back to Highbury.
One month after the drama of the Premiership game at Old Trafford, Liverpool and Manchester United meet again. England's most decorated football clubs clash once more for a place in the last 8 of the FA Cup. Revitalised under new management, Newcastle's quest for the Holy Grail continues. Southampton travel to Tyneside, hoping to end their cup dreams for another year. Newcastle against Southampton later, but we start at Anfield as Liverpool take on Manchester United.
Well, only one thing guaranteed in the FA Cup at Anfield today, a hostile reception for Gary Neville as he leads out Manchester United. Rafa Benitez sticking fundamentally with the side that beat Arsenal in midweek. 2 changes enforced upon Liverpool. Xabi Alonso injured, so Didi Hamann, who came on to set up Tuesday's winner, starts in midfield. Robbie Fowler is cup-tied, so Peter Crouch's return to fitness is timely. He's straight back into the team, as is Pepe Reina on the completion of his 3-match suspension. But there's no Rio Ferdinand to mark Crouch. The match winner against Liverpool only last month is missing with a tight hamstring. But Gary Neville is fit again, and his graphic celebration at Old Trafford guarantees he'll have a 31st birthday to remember whatever happens in the match. Kieran Richardson, who has scored 3 goals already in United's FA Cup run, is preferred to Park Ji-sung. Well, Rafa Benitez trying to be the manager to end an FA Cup hoodoo for Liverpool. It has been nip and tuck in their meetings with Manchester United in most competitions down the years, but United have a supremacy over Liverpool in this competition, which goes back to 1921, including 2 Wembley final wins over the club from Anfield. At Anfield today, the boos go up for Gary Neville's first touch and will probably continue for most of the game, which starts in sunshine. Sylvester challenging Crouch. Here's Carragher, one of the local lads who feels this rivalry, maybe more than 1 or 2 of the imported players. But it is the standout 5th round tie. And either Liverpool or Manchester United will be out of this season's competition at the end of it. Gerrard. Orientes pursuing. Wes Brown, who's got Vidic as his central defensive partner today. Rio Ferdinand hasn't made it after hamstring trouble, so the match winner only last month in a Premiership game, of course, in Manchester, is missing. The game here in the league finished 0-0. Last season's fixture in the league was won by Wayne Rooney for Manchester United. Sissoko, and Gerrard's tempted for the same ball. Brown standing his ground. It's bound to be frantic early on. The referee is Howard Webb. And he's given Liverpool the free kick. It's only 3 points between them in the Premiership, in Manchester United's favour. Anfield advantage for Liverpool here. Tucked in towards Crouch. We'll see plenty of those diagonals, I'm sure, in free play as well as from a set piece. Crouch couldn't locate that one. Manchester United incidentally arrived here less than an hour before kick-off. team coach had been caught in the aftermath of an accident. Two strikers lined up again. Not alone from the long throw, because Herpy's in there as well. Headed back by Harman. Good play by Wes Brown. Rich with the clearance. Carragher in exactly the right spot. Push on Kuehl by Fletcher. Liverpool really playing the percentages in these early minutes. They know if they can get just one corner or one free kick, as it is here, in the right spot, they'll be in front. Oh, and but for Van der Sar, they would have been, through a disbelieving Harry Kuehl. It was a marvellous stop from the Manchester United goalkeeper. Into the perfect area. It was a good header by Kuehl, but not good enough. Finnan. It's in. It's Peter Crouch. Van der Sar could do nothing about it this time. First blood to Rafa Benitez in this massive cup tie. After 18 minutes. Not picked up, in fact it was a teammate he had to force his way past Crouch. He was there before Kuehl, and after Kuehl had been frustrated by Van der Sar, the Dutchman looked in anguish this time as Peter Crouch got the better of him. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0. First Liverpool goal against United this season. "85 years since Liverpool last had the satisfaction against Manchester United in the FA Cup." But Darren Fletcher, well, he had got in, but the ball wasn't quite deep enough for him. And Carragher, back-pedalling, made sure that delight didn't turn to instant despair. Crouch back to defend in this zonal system of marking that Rafa Benitez likes so much. And it works this time. And it came off Crouch. Jamie Carragher feels that he was impeded. There's no time to dwell on that because the referee didn't spot it. And it's another Manchester United corner, and that again looked like a foul by Brown on Risa. Rooney. Harman. And Morientes just dwelling a little bit. Had a bit of fortune. But he's kept Liverpool going here. As they look to build on a relatively early breakthrough. Kuehl. Neville's back heel. Might have been played a little blind, but it went to Fletcher. And Risa there before Van Nistelrooy. Liverpool, the team that have been struggling to score. Manchester United, the team has been averaging 3 goals a game over their last 7 matches. They need to find that scoring touch, or they'll be out of the FA Cup. There's a long way to go here at Anfield. There's a bit of shirt pulling by Finnan on Ronaldo. Steven Gerrard filling that hole defensively. Brown. Fletcher. That's good work by Morientes. Vidic. Well, Jamie Carragher is now making a point, but this is the point that Peter Crouch made after 8 games without a goal and missing a couple with a heel injury. Scoring a header from a fair distance, power and placement, and Manchester United trail. Herpier, Gerrard. Liverpool enjoying this, but mustn't get ahead of themselves. Vidic and Crouch. The referee ran a long way to point for a goal kick. Misjudged by the Manchester United defender. If anything, I think it was a foul by Crouch. Risa. Under Neville to Kewell. Vidic drawn out of the middle, but he did his job with the help of Darren Fletcher. Now the versatile Richardson. But Gerrard coming back and Manchester United not giving any time on the ball. This is strong work from Liverpool. Well, Steven Gerrard looked to the right, but he's the player supposed to be out there, and of course no one had filled in, but there's good work between the two central strikers in Crouch and Morientes, and it's another Liverpool corner. In the Merseyside sunshine, Liverpool turn up the heat again. Oh, Kewell. That was Giggs. Oh, and now Van Nistelrooy has grabbed hold of Harry Kewell. And Howard Webb got a bit of sorting out to do here. A yellow card to Giggs. So presumably it's a free kick to Liverpool. And that ended outside the penalty area. It was a very risky tackle from Ryan Giggs. Van Nistelrooy then got embroiled in it, and it wasn't really any of his business. Referee Webb says, come on. Act like men here. And sorted out the actual incident. Don't want any after effects through dissent. But there's no doubt the way Alex Ferguson has deployed Ryan Giggs today, he's got to do some tackling. He's never been shy of that, even in his preferred wide position. Liverpool with possibilities here of going 2-0 up. Oh, and Steve Finnan should have delivered just that. He's only ever scored once for Liverpool, so it should have been a double in a personal sense as well. Maybe not so much to aim at, but into the side netting is the worst thing that can be done, really. Even if it had gone back across the face of the goal. But there was a real chance to put it into the goal. Rooney turns away from Risa. Deflects off Herpier. Rooney goes again, and again, and again, and again. And he feels that right at the end that he was tripped. Howard Webb was looking through players, and Van Nistelrooy is offside. He lashes it in. But, the flag was up. Rooney not complaining about that, but about what happened a few seconds earlier. But it was a one-man crusade here from Manchester United's Liverpudlian. It's Sammy Herpier who might have just landed on a Rooney leg. But they held their line, the Benitez back four, and Van Nistelrooy subsequently was offside. Here is Crouch. Sissoko. There were one or two moments when Silvestris just tried to help those out in front of him. And in that department, in the centre of the pitch, Liverpool have been calling the tune. And the first half scoreline reflects their superiority. Maybe Rafa Benitez feels they're worth more than the 1-0 lead. Came after 18 minutes. Peter Crouch back in the team today. Manchester United have been second best to this point. Signs that they were switching their formation just before the interval, but they'll need to pep up their play somehow in the second half, or they'll be going out at Anfield, the last place they want to lose in the FA Cup. But we're only halfway through here today, and it's Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0.
That is absolutely superb!
The UEFA Champions League is back, and Sky Sports brings you Chelsea v Barcelona.
And that's the way he does it.
Rangers v Villarreal.
Pick that one out!
Wednesday from 6, Sky Sports 1 and 2. But first, it's Bayern Munich v AC Milan. And PSV v Lyon. It all starts Tuesday from 7 on Sky Sports 1 and 2.
The new 2006 Fiesta. Now available with a free upgrade to the next model in the range. Typical 5.9% APR. And an extra £500 off if you say I do before March the 7th.
What you think are great lines, she thinks are premature wrinkles. React.
An innovation from L'Oréal Men Expert Wrinkle Decrease Anti-Expression Wrinkle Cream. Long-lasting hydration day after day. Wrinkles appear reduced. Wrinkle Decrease from L'Oréal Men Expert. Expert technology for every man's skin.
You're worth it too.
Donnie Darko, the director's cut, starring Oscar nominee Jake Gyllenhaal. Free this weekend inside the Sunday Times.
Rock and roll!
Get in.
Who are they?
Oh, I'm just sorting out my car insurance. Hey? I call the AA team. They search over 20 insurance companies to find me their best quote.
Right, that's 40% less, with a full money-back guarantee if you find a cheaper quote.
That's nice, man. That's very nice, man. That's very, very nice, man.
To find out if you could save up to 40%, call the AA team. Here to get you a better deal.
Class time! Observe! Noddy, nobbies.
Noddy, nobbies.
Thick, thicker. Thicker.
Bitte Schnodder.
Nibble nobbies, thick, Chris!
There is a team that's always there, waiting to be called upon in your hour of need. So if you have a problem, if you need it sorting out right now, maybe you can call the 118-118 team.
Well, I know it's around here somewhere.
Looks like you've just hired the 118-118 team.
I love it when a plan comes together, 118.
Buy a Coke, and you could win a player worth $250,000 for your club and pocket 10 grand for yourself. Text the name of your football league or SPL club to 88 555.
Louis Saha comes on for Mikhail Silvestre for the second half. Now Saha has scored in each of the last 6 matches he's started for Manchester United, but he's on here to try and rescue matters in the second half for Sir Alec Ferguson. Kieran Richardson will go to left back, but the presence of Saha gives Manchester United a second striker, and they need to strike because Peter Crouch has done that already. Liverpool playing their 7th game in 17 days. There's always the fatigue factor to take into account. They have been the busiest of the top sides in England, but Manchester United not far behind. Kewell. Crouch holds it up well. Risa. So Ronaldo on the right, Rooney on the left, Richardson at left back. But it's Liverpool who work it to their left back. Risa, and Brown had to improvise here to somehow avoid putting the ball into his own net and giving Liverpool the perfect start to the second half. Concentrating on getting some height into a very awkward header. Here's Gerrard. And Crouch might have had his shirt being pulled, but Howard Webb saw an earlier offence. Carragher. Morientes heads on. Oh, hesitation between Vidic and Van der Sar, and Crouch improbably got a foot to it. But Manchester United spared the embarrassment as the ball rolled wide. Yours, no mine. So nearly 2-0. Well won by Morientes. Crouch didn't give it up, not at all. Rooney, Giggs. Alex Ferguson has often said down the years as manager of Manchester United, we often make it hard for ourselves, and they certainly have here at Anfield today, but they're by no means out of this FA Cup tie. We would fear for them though if they concede a second time. Risa's ball aimed for Kewell. Now Ronaldo. Saha is offside. He's almost scored as many goals as Rooney now, 10 to Rooney's 11. And fewer opportunities. So he could still spoil Liverpool's day, Louis Saha. Brown. But now Gerrard. Harman. Again, backing his ability to keep the ball under challenge. Kinnan likewise. Brought down by Rooney. Apologise for his transgression. Quick free kick. Made possible for Gerrard by Kewell's movement. Sissoko. He was caught by Richardson. The referee was half following the ball, but I think saw the latter stages of the challenge. Giggs, that's steered for Neville. And there are 4 in blue in the middle. In goes Saha! Oh, and Finnan. Reina knew he couldn't pick it up. Oh, and Gary Neville goes down. Herpia's foul. Liverpool really, for the first time in the game, were under some duress then. It's going to be a booking for Sami Hyypiä. Howard Webb prepared to explain, but he wasn't going to change his mind. But it was maybe the most extravagant piece of attacking play just prior to that Manchester United had put together in the game. And Zaha going towards the near post with a chance to score with a header. And then Finnan and Reina almost treading on each other's toes as they worked out a way to get the ball away. Ronaldo or Giggs, the two United options. Rooney. Well, you need a bit of help with a deflection when you don't strike it quite as sweetly as planned. Didn't happen for United then. But it was more likely to happen here from Gary Neville's cross. And then Finnan. But it was a good awareness by Reina to avoid probably being penalised for picking up a back pass if he'd used his hands. This was much more like it for Manchester United, and their fans will say about time too. Giggs. Zaha. Great strength by Sissoko, but he's allowed Zaha to steal it back. And a flag up against Van Nistelrooy. No equaliser for Manchester United, but their play in the second half has given more suggestion that one might come. And this was just offside. Still 25 minutes to go, and Zaha starting to make his presence felt. And involved in Carragher getting booked. He might have scored at the near post with a header. And he unsettled Liverpool a few seconds ago. Crouch. Harman. Crouch. Sissoko. Luis Garcia. Oh, and Sissoko's taken it from Richardson. He really pulled his shot across the face of the goal, but it's stayed in play. Now they're yelling again for handball against Gary Neville as Gerrard cross struck the Manchester United captain. Oh, and Crouch did well there, and he's a bit annoyed that Sissoko was back on his heels and not anticipating his contribution. Oh, that's superbly done by Ronaldo. Here's Van Nistelrooy. Beyond Risa, but beyond the perimeters of the Anfield pitch. Still a quarter of the action to go. Garcia didn't really try to jump. Giggs. 1-0 to Liverpool at Wigan last Saturday, 1-0 here against Arsenal on the Tuesday. That will be a caution for Kuehl. Having his work cut out to Howard Webb at the moment. But Liverpool still lead 1-0 in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Saha has got a great spring. Van Nistelrooy, who barely needs a sight of goal, even with his back to the goal. He knows his angles and his options. And that might have been going in, but for the fact it struck Carragher, and Manchester United have a corner. By Luis Garcia. Neville just about scrapes it wide to Ronaldo, who avoids Luis Garcia. Cure blocks the cross. Ronaldo. Van Nistelrooy. Giggs. Well, with right foot, he took extra aim, extra care. But it just flew too high for Manchester United. And it wasn't quite Ryan the rescue package, as it looked as though it might be. It's a push on Peter Crouch by Wesley Brown, and it's the last involvement in the match for the man who is still the match winner. But it's not game over yet. A couple of minutes plus added time. Maybe a generous helping of that added time. On comes Cisse. Crouch leaves to a standing ovation from three sides of the ground. A man who can really stand tall for what he's done today. Set up for Risa, and well blocked by Smith. So it didn't shirk that, I think it stung him. And he's in trouble, Alan Smith. So is Rayner, who's come out and dealt with the danger, but Smith's in some distress, and they're calling on the medical men straight away. Alan Smith this is serious. Van Nistelrooy's gone away, unable to take in what he's seen. There was a cry for help. It was what Manchester United needed. He had the impact with the ball and with the ground as well. This might not just be the end of Alan Smith's afternoon, but his season. There's no braver player in the land. And the paramedics have played their part, but Alan Smith plays no further part. And he goes with the best wishes of all. Rivalry forgotten here at Anfield. There's fans of Liverpool as well as Manchester United. Sympathise for Alan Smith is getting oxygen as well to cope with the pain. Vidic. Up towards Ronaldo, over Ronaldo. Risa beats Van Nistelrooy. Down goes Harman, Ronaldo's foul. And Liverpool find the pressure relieved again. They're so close. It's another feather in the cap of Rafa Benitez. They've been taunting the United fans with the fives there, the five European Cups and in the FA Cup for the first time since 1921. Liverpool have got the better of Manchester United.
Well, scarred, but pretty happy, I guess.
Yeah, of course. You know, take the sky every day of the week, obviously, to win a game like that. You know, it's a big rivalry between the two clubs, and you know, we were on the wrong end of the result last time, so you know, thankfully on the right end of it this time.
First goal against Manchester United.
Yeah, you know, we knew it was going to be a difficult game. It's always difficult against them. They're a top class side, and you know, like I say, it was difficult because you know we lost the last game. But you know, thankfully, like I say, we got the right end of the 1-0 today.
It was a header from quite a long way out. What are your recollections of it?
Yeah, just managed to get in front of the defender. I think you know Harry was there or thereabouts, but you know only had eyes for the ball and just managed to sneak in the corner. You know, it's you know, obviously pleasing to score, and you know we sort of grafted it out until the end, and I thought we deserved the win. To be fair,
Alec, the football match seems almost incidental at the moment. What can you tell us about Alan Smith?
Well, he's broken his leg and dislocation of the ankle joint. It's a bad one, obviously. And he's gone to hospital. Our doctor's gone with him, and it looks a very long-term one, to be honest with you. It's one of the worst I've seen, actually. But, you know, I think that, you know, we're all behind him anyway, and he's such a brave lad, and I'm sure he'll be back.
It was his own bravery, really. He was determined to block that ball that caused the injury.
Well, I didn't see it. I actually didn't know. I was aware of what happened. Of course, you're following the track of the ball and back up the field, and obviously when you see the reaction of the players round about, you knew it was a bad one.
And does that put defeat in the FA Cup into some sort of perspective for you?
Well, it's a bad blow for us, and it just sort of sums up a lot of our season. You know, we've got Paul Scholes out for the season, and we've got Quinton Fortune and Gabby Hines, some bad injuries, you know. But in fairness to them, I think they've really done fantastically well, the players, and tried to adapt to these situations, changing the midfield round all the time. Alan's been out with an ankle injury, actually, and is just getting back to his real fitness. Today, you know, we always say you need luck in the cup. We'd lost with Rio Ferdinand yesterday after training. Then Mikel Sylvester has to come off at half-time. And then you bring on Alan and he gets his injury. So it's just one of these situations that happens, and you know, it is true. I think there is an element of luck in winning a cup, and we just didn't have it today.
Rafa, congratulations. I guess you just heard how much it means to the Liverpool public to beat Manchester United in a competition where they haven't beaten them for 85 years.
Thank you. The first thing is to say we are so sorry for the injury, and always it's bad, no, to hear this news, and you can say all the best, no, in this case. And thank you, because I think that we deserve to win, because we worked really hard. We scored one goal, we create some chances, and I said before, with our supporters behind, and it's very difficult to beat us.
And Peter Crouch is very much a player you've put your faith in. It's a great day for him.
Yeah, he's a striker, and then a striker score one goal, and always is a good news for us, good news for the strikers, and I think that he deserves to score. Maybe Morientes also, Cissé, but they are working hard trying to score more goals. But sometimes one is enough.
So Peter Crouch is winner for Liverpool, saw off Manchester United. After the break, the fifth round tie from St James's Park. It's Newcastle versus Southampton.
Tomorrow from 1, a big football double. First on Fort Super Sunday.
Genius is the furthest forward and buried it.
Tottenham face Wigan.
Good finish from Johansson.
Then an FA Cup fifth round tie. Chelsea v Colchester.
Chelsea strike first.
Can the League One giant killers strike again against the Premiership champions?
Fantastic.
A big day of football tomorrow from 1, SkySports 1.
We all have to eat. But as New Yorkers, we have to eat well.
Innovative menus, award-winning wines. We've flown more New Yorkers than any other airline. And if we can keep them happy.
So happy, today's the day, and things will turn around. So keep your head up. Things are alright. So keep your head
brand new Motorola Sliver.
Things are alright.
Hello, Moto.
So, what will it be? Don't see a great night wasted. Enjoy alcohol responsibly.
Rock and roll!
Get in.
Who are they?
Oh, I'm just sorting out my car insurance. Hey? I call the AA team. They search over 20 insurance companies to find me their best quote.
Right, that's 40% less. With a full money-back guarantee if you find a cheaper quote.
That's nice, man. That's very nice, man. That's very, very nice, man.
To find out if you could save up to 40%, call the AA team, here to get you a better deal.
Donnie Darko, The Director's Cut, starring Oscar nominee Jake Gyllenhaal. Free this weekend inside the Sunday Times.
Good job. Concentrate. Brad, tackle Jake. Yeah! One. I think I got it, man. One. I'm on the right, dude. You've got to be kidding.
Budweiser, official beer of the FIFA World Cup. You do the football, we'll do the beer.
So that's the offside rule. Who doesn't understand?
Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers. For a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day.
Newcastle United's first home game since Alan Shearer became the club's record goal scorer. But unlike Jackie Milburn, who won the FA Cup 3 times, Shearer has never won a major trophy with his hometown club, and if his hopes of changing that are to remain, Newcastle will have to do it without him tonight. A calf injury rules the captain out of a significant meeting with his first club. The only counterbalance to such a grievous blow is Kieran Dyer's first start since the end of August, only his third of the season. Robbie Elliott replaces Celestine Babayaro, whose appeal against his red card at Aston Villa was rejected 2 days ago. In contrast, Southampton's captain Klaas Lundekvam has come through a fitness scare after a rib injury against Preston in midweek. Marion Pahars, who scored 5 goals in his career against Newcastle, and Matt Oakley are both back as well. It's a team reconstructed by George Burley, with goalkeeper Bartosz Bielkowski and defender Alexander Osland only acquired last month, and with Jermaine Wright and Peter Madsen both on loan. "79 years ago tomorrow, Southampton were a tier below Newcastle United in the league structure and knocked them out in a 5th round FA Cup tie. Could history possibly repeat itself here tonight? Osland looking for Madsen. Jean-Alain Boumsong stood up to it, and it was cleared by Robbie Elliott. Scott Parker is wearing the captain's armband tonight in the absence of Alan Shearer, who's normally so important to Newcastle. He scored the last time these two sides met when Newcastle did the double over Southampton last season, before the Polish goalkeeper Bielkowski had joined. He only linked up with Southampton last month. It's Marion Pahars. And now Jermaine Wright, who's been borrowed from Leeds United. This is Matt Oakley, who's back after an ankle injury, but that's a bad ball. He's given it away to Charles Nzogbia, who's scored in the 2 games since Glenn Roeder took over this club. That was Wright. Now Madsen, pursued all the way by Boumsong. Newcastle, for all the criticisms that their defence have yet to concede a goal in this season's FA Cup competition. They've beaten Mansfield and Cheltenham with clean sheets behind them. Parker seemed to get a bit of the ball, but he also got a bit of the man as well, Peter Madsen. Osland's ball that goes astray. Madsen, the other loanee in the Southampton team. He's been borrowed from FC Cologne. Bramble and Boomsong, a much maligned Newcastle defence. Glenn Roeder has spent much of his time working with the senior team, working with those two particular players. Kieran Dyer seemed to be caught, but the referees let it run to Solano. Now Dyer again. Here's Emre. Elliott. Now Nzogbia. Kieran Dyer to Scott Parker. Nzogbia's done well to get past Madsen. He's pulled it back here for Dyer, who let it run for Solano. Solano tried to return the compliment and it didn't come off for him. Ball was aimed in Ramage's direction but was just too heavy for the young fullback. Glenn Roeder, who could be on the verge of a unique double. He's already steered the youth team into the quarter-finals of the FA Youth Cup as part of his full-time role here, heading the academy. Here's Kenwyn Jones, who saw given off his line, decided it was worth a punt despite the distance. Boomsong thought about letting it run then, and belatedly saw Madsen closing in. Here's Bramble. Now Parker. Ramage making the run up on the right. Here's Dyer. Solano wide of him, offside. Nobby Solano, part of the Newcastle team that reached the final back in 1999. Lost two finals in that decade. One to Arsenal, one to Manchester United. Newcastle are serial underachievers, bearing in mind this loyal backing that they have. After the failings of the previous regime, no matter who they appoint, there is a giant here waiting to be awoken. Bartosz Białkowski was given a trial at Hearts when George Burley had his brief stint in charge there. Burley remembered him, which is why he opted to take the 18-year-old to Southampton. Elliott. Now Emre. Jean-Alain Boumsong looks for Amiobi. That's Emre. Now Solano. Titus Bramble. Here's Boumsong. Now Emre. And Nzogbia taking it inside Osland, but Darren Powell is there. Madsen. Here's Oakley. Craney looking to switch it to Brennan, but it's played behind him. Kieran Dyer and Titus Bramble in the Newcastle team, both familiar to George Burley, who managed them at Ipswich. And here's Dyer becoming involved now, with Nzogbia having made a central run if he can feed him. He's held on to it for a long time though, Kieran Dyer. Now Nzogbia, given back to Dyer. Crossing by Parker is behind Amiobi, it's Craney's header away. Emre urged to shoot. Here's Nzogbia, looking for Amiobi, and Solano coming in, forces the save. Well, it was attacked by Amiobi, but he just couldn't get close enough to it. But all credit to Solano, who gambled on coming in at the far side and forced Bielkowski into his first work of the evening. Boomsong. Solano's header frees Peter Ramage. Ball cut out by Klaus Lundekvam. Well, inside 7 minutes, the teenage Polish goalkeeper forced to make his first save. And it was all down to the quality of the cross this from Nzogbia. It was an inviting ball enough for Amiobi, but when he couldn't get close enough to it, Solano followed in well, and good reactions by the goalkeeper. Here's Oakley. Stopped in his tracks by Emre. It's been a frustrating return to the first team so far for Marian Pahars. Here's Solano. Ball from Kieran Dyer to Ramage. Moved on by Solano again. Now Parker picks it up. Two to his left. Amiobi's one of them. Shoulder Amiobi! Outside of the post. Well, the angle made it awkward, but that wasn't to deter Shola Amiobi. And bearing in mind how tight the angle was, it was a decent attempt this from the striker, who was having his route to goal blocked anyway by Darren Powell. Now Elliott. It's Craney's header. Solano. Played back to him by Dyer, and he's looked for Dyer again! Well, Dyer straight back into the swing of it. He may not have started a game since the first month of the season, but he's already linking up really promisingly here with Solano. As earlier with Amiobi, the angle was difficult for him, but he made the goalkeeper work. Boomsong. Dyer, now Emre. It's an ambitious ball to Ramage, but he picks him out. Bramble. A lovely link up between Solano and Ramage. Lundekvam behind the cross. Well, even though Newcastle have been hampered by injuries this season, and the losses of Stephen Carr and Stephen Taylor may have been a blow, but it has at least allowed for the emergence of Peter Ramage, and he's grown into that role, linked up well there with Nobby Solano. Shay Given, who's not conceded so far in this season's FA Cup competition. Oakley offside. Matt Oakley and Klaus Lundekvam, part of the Southampton team that reached the FA Cup final 3 years ago. Here's Solano. The ball from Dyer. Ramage with a chase on to keep it in, and it just proved beyond him. Solano. Played against Parker, almost broke for Amiobi. Lundigvam cleared. Well, Kenwyne Jones felt he was blocked off from getting through then by Robbie Elliott, but he's got another chance here, Jones! And Bramble was there. Really was a well-timed challenge from Bramble, because Jones, having been complaining just moments earlier that he'd been blocked off by Robbie Elliott, suddenly switched back on and there was real danger. It's Brennan's cross. Jones with a header. That's wide. Well, Kenwyne Jones then caused a few hearts to flutter amongst the majority of this crowd, because just before this header narrowly wide, he looked to have broken free, and it was only Titus Bramble's intervention that stopped him. Ramage. Dyer. Here's Emre. Well, he got caught then, Emre, as he lined up the shot, and so the referee has wisely brought play back for the free kick, for the corner, in fact. And we're at the 26-minute mark, and this is actually the first corner of the game. And Emre swings it in. Cleared back out to him by Craney. Oh! It was Titus Bramble who got underneath it. Emre's original corner coming back to him. It was a delicate loft in there, and he had to out-jump Lundigvam, did Bramble. Emre. Elliott. Now Parker. Amiobi just tried to push it back through for Parker, and it didn't come off. Bramble. Southampton almost inviting pressure onto themselves at the moment, sitting so deep. It's Nzogbia's ball in, and Lundigvam couldn't afford to take the chance. He had to do something. Amiobi was breathing down his neck. The pressure is growing. Just over 3 minutes to half-time. Boomsong's header. Bramble sticks out a leg. Amiobi hits it. Wonderful stop from Bielkowski. It was instinct really on the goalkeeper's part. It was pinball in front of him, and then he was fortunate that he got a clear enough view of that. It was coming towards him, but good reactions all the same. Boomsong goes in. Oh, it's crashed against the post. Well, he deserved his bit of luck then, the goalkeeper, for the save he'd made previously. But why they held out here with a bit of fortune, as Boomsong for once won his duel with the goalkeeper, who was rescued by the goal frame. No score at half-time. Southampton standing their ground against the Premiership side. They got a bit of luck when Jean-Alain Boumsong beat the goalkeeper to a cross and headed against the upright. But the teenage Polish goalkeeper Bartosz Bielkowski deserved that luck, because he previously made a decent reaction save from Shola Amiobi, and he'd also kept out an earlier effort from Norberto Solano. So at half-time in this fifth-round tie at St James's Park, it's Newcastle 0, Southampton 0. Double substitution from Southampton at the start of the second half. They've taken off Marian Pahars and Klaus Lundigvam. And little and large, little is Nathan Dyer, so 2 Dyers on the field now. Comes on to face Kieran of Newcastle, and it's already been a good day for Liverpool, who've beaten Manchester United, and Darren Potter, who's on loan from Liverpool, hopes to make it an even better day personally for him. As things stand, Newcastle United are the only team from the last 4 in last season's competition still in this season's. Arsenal and Blackburn were already out. Manchester United fell earlier today. Can Newcastle reach the enticing prospect of the quarter-finals? Here's Jean-Alain Boumsong. Zamiobi, who helped it on. Newcastle have certainly had the clearer-cut chances so far. Still no goals. Craney has to deal with that one. White in the end helped it away. There's Boumsong. Flag was up for offside against Kieran Dyer, even though he didn't get a touch on the ball. He was making that point. Craney had already dealt with it with the header away. Ben Roeder's last FA Cup match in charge of a team before this saw his West Ham side hammered 6-0 at Manchester United. He was called a lucky manager by David O'Leary after their win at Aston Villa last week, but luck has been against them here, judging by the fact they've run into an informed goalkeeper, and Jean-Alain Boumsong was close but not close enough to giving them a lead at the end of the first half. Kept in by Ramic. It's got away from Kieran Dyer. Cleared by Martin Craney. Madsen seemed to be being held up then by Boumsong. There's Elliott. Now Emre. And he cleared to Elliott, who suddenly saw it opening up for him. Might still. He's tried to play Namiobi, but the ball got snagged and Osland came back with a tackle. And they're all piling in now, looking for a piece of the action. Osland, in the end, emerged with it. Zamiobi's lack of close control that started that situation. There's Madsen. Jones. He's won it back. And lifts it over. Well, Newcastle then very nearly architects of their own problems. Jones himself had slipped, but a complete lack of ability to deal with it from Robbie Elliott invited Jones on for a second chance, one that he didn't take. Elliott tried to combine with Emre. It was broken up by Nathan Dyer, and this is Jones. And this is Madsen. Kenwyne Jones! Oh, good save! What a chance for Kenwyne Jones. And he knows it. Surprised he's smiling, having passed up such a golden opportunity as this. He broke free of Emre and he was completely unchecked when the ball was pulled back to him. And given called into action for the first time today, frustrates George Burley. Given came for that and was second best as it turned out against Darren Powell. The crowd here just starting to get a little bit anxious now. New positive mood that's circulating here. They're trying to rally the players rather than get on their backs. But no doubt about it, there have been more worrying signs for Newcastle in the second half than there were in the first. They were making all the running then, but Glenn Roeder and Terry McDermott alarmed to see Southampton's attacking influence growing. Nathan Dyer has been lively. He's won a free kick there out of Robbie Elliott. Big stage for the 18-year-old to appear on, but he's not been overawed. Ramage. Frady. Here's Brennan. Bramble. Way by Nathan Dyer. Now Oakley. Sets Dyer off again. Right. Now Osland makes the run. And pull back here, chance for Manson! Oh! Well, they keep getting into these positions and not taking the opportunities. So often those late runs into the box are not being picked up, and Manson this time had the chance and blazed it over. Jones' shot needed a touch from Given, this one didn't, it was rising all the time. But again, George Burley beats the air with frustration. Amiobi. He's won a free kick. And he's taken it quickly. Emre. It's Kieran Dyer, and the flag's up. Won't count, he's offside. Looks as though he just about is, Kieran Dyer. We're almost 3/4 of the way through, and Southampton, who finished level at 0-0 in 3 of their last 6 matches coming into this, are still keeping things tight, holding up the Premiership side. Headed back by Ramage. Newcastle have won both of their matches since Glenn Roeder stepped up to take over from Graham Souness. They beat Portsmouth here, they won at Villa last week. Here's Charles Nzogbia, who scored in both. Has he set it up now? It's Kieran Dyer! Yes! 3/4 of the way through the match, and Kieran Dyer gets the breakthrough for Newcastle, the returning hero. His first start since August, and how good it must feel to be back. And Zogbia made the break. He unlocked the defence, and it was Kieran Dyer who found the finish. He kept his cool when faced only by a goalkeeper who'd been in fine form up to that point, and the finisher supreme, Alan Shearer, can afford a moment of celebration there, because the man who's come in to take the injured Shearer's place, Kieran Dyer, is the man who keeps Shearer's hopes of silverware in this, his final season as a Newcastle player, alive. Clearing tackle by Scott Parker. Kieran Dyer actually got booked in the aftermath for going into the crowd to celebrate. Ramage. Elliott. And Zogbia. Dyer. Parker and Zogbia. He's given it away. Jones stumbles on the ball. And Zogbia relieved to see possession won back. Jones fell on the ball and may just have pulled something in doing so.
For those with Super Strike tickets, the goal was timed at 67 minutes and 55 seconds.
Well, even though the injury concern is for a Southampton player here, it's Newcastle who are making a change. And Kieran Dyer has put Newcastle United within 15 minutes of claiming a place in the FA Cup quarter-finals, but he won't see the match through to its conclusion. He's gone off, and on in his place comes Lee Bowyer. Not going to wait to see if Cameron Jones can run this off, because Southampton are going to bring on Dexter Blackstock. Jones will be ruining that missed opportunity at 0-0. The man who got their fourth round winner at Leicester, but he's going to make way here. And Blackstock, who's never ever scored in the FA Cup and who hasn't scored in his last 8 matches either, comes on to try and rescue this for Southampton. Header away by Powell. Powell keeping a watchful eye on Luque. Here's Nzogbia. And back awkwardly off right, Bielkowski lost it. And fortunately for him, Craney was behind, but the goalkeeper is hurt at a time when Southampton have just used the last of their substitutes. Could have a real problem here. Well, he had his eyes on it all the time. Whether the ball suddenly changed direction, I'm not sure, but he completely lost hold of it. But it is a concern for George Burley, because if the problem proves insurmountable, then it'll be an outfield player who has to take his place. You can't believe how the luck has turned against his side in this match. But it's up to the players to decide amongst themselves who gets the gloves, because Southampton are going to have to play out the remainder of this game with only 10 men, and with Dexter Blackstock, who'd only just come on to take the place of Kenwyne Jones, having now to take up a very unusual role in goal. An agonising end to the afternoon for Bartosz Bielkowski, and the injury coming just as Southampton had used the last of their outfield substitutes. And that last outfield substitute is the man who has to go in goal and replace the stricken Bielkowski. What an unbelievable afternoon for Dexter Blackstock, who thought he was going to be scoring goals, or hoping he was going to be scoring goals to get Southampton level, and now he has to turn to try and saving them. Blackstock's first task is dealing with a corner. And Newcastle, ruthlessly, will be aiming to put as much pressure on the novice as they can. And Luque's tackle has given them an opportunity to rouse themselves and get some activity in front of him once more. Bramble. No matter how far out now, Newcastle being urged to shoot. Emre. It's broken here for Solano, offside. Much to Dexter Blackstock's relief, I'm sure, as much as anyone else. Well, what does George Burley do? He's trying to urge men forward, but he's got an outfield player in goal. His team are a man light, but they are a goal down. We're getting to the end of the 90 minutes. There is going to be plenty of stoppage time, make no mistake about that. But Southampton are facing the dangers of a free kick here, which is taken quickly, and Blackstock saw then exactly what was on the mind of Luque and kept it out. Well, it's not a question of catching it, it's just get rid of it. He read the mind belatedly of Luque, got back into a position, wasn't about to let one spill through his fingers and embarrass himself. In the last minute of the allotted stoppage time, Nathan Dyer hoping for the sort of pass that Kieran Dyer got to give Newcastle their lead, but it didn't happen for the Southampton man. Well, he'll remember his day which ended with the gloves at St James's Park. Sure, he never expected this scenario. Header clear by Boomsong. The road to revival at Newcastle continues. They're into the last 8 of the FA Cup. It's been a poor season for Newcastle. It's been dire for Kieran Dyer, but things are starting to improve, and it was Kieran Dyer who got the goal that takes Newcastle through to the last 8. Southampton unfortunate. They ended up with an outfield player, Dexter Blackstock, going in goal because their first choice, Bartosz Bielkowski, who'd made some decent saves in the first half, was injured at a time when they'd used all of their substitutes. They actually made a decent go of it before Dyer got his breakthrough goal, because Madsen and Kenwyne Jones had decent opportunities which Southampton squandered. They were made to pay when Kieran Dyer got the only and deciding goal of the game, a game that's finished at St James's Park. Newcastle 1, Southampton 0.
Kieran Dyer got that vital goal that's put you in the quarter-finals. How big a lift has that been for him personally, do you think?
Oh, great lift. I mean, he's very happy in the dressing room now. And I think probably this spell out of football has made him realise how much he loves football. You know, sometimes when players never get injured, they start taking football for granted. And of course, it's such a wonderful way to earn your living. Then you have a spell out, and you're missing it when you're seeing all the lads going out to training every day, and you're still stuck on the medical table. He's had such a long time out. He deserves this change of luck, and as I said, it probably has made him realise how much he loves the game and how much passion he's got for it.
George, I think you'll probably go away from here tonight perhaps a little frustrated, won't you?
Yeah, disappointed, but I couldn't ask any more in the team. They worked hard, worked their socks off. We had 1 or 2 players out because of cup tide and injury, but I thought the whole squad, worked hard, and I think overall we deserved something out of the game. But when you make 3 or 4 clear-cut chances, you've got to take one of them, and that was the case, especially the second half, where I thought we took the game to Newcastle, but didn't take the opportunities.
So victory here for Newcastle, and more FA Cup action to come this weekend. Can League One side Colchester cause the biggest surprise of the lot at Chelsea? It's live on Sky Sports 1 Sunday from 3:30. Differing fortunes then for 2 of last year's semi-finalists. Manchester United, runners-up in May, knocked out by bitter rivals Liverpool thanks to Peter Crouch's goal. While Newcastle, who were in dire straits a few weeks ago, gained a 3rd straight win thanks to Kieran Dyer's straightforward finish in the 5th round tie at St James's Park. For now, goodbye.